All right, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the Empire. Oh my God, I just watched episode 10. I just watched episode 10 of the Clone Wars, season 7, and holy fucking shit, man. Holy shit. Okay, I want to forewarn you. It doesn't necessarily leave off on a cliffhanger because it like the plot of the episode is kind of resolved by the end of it, but it gives this overwhelming sense that this is not it, and obviously it's not it because I think there's at least 2 more episodes left, maybe 1. I'm not positive, but it there's this overwhelming sense of like, yo, this isn't finished towards the end of it, which rightfully there should be. So it starts off as it ended last episode. Ahsoka surrounded, Maul standing there being like, what the fuck are you doing here? Basically, like, who are you exactly? Because he was hoping for Kenobi. And yeah, and so Ahsoka manages to call for Rex, like, secretly, obviously, and she gets rescued by Rex and his men. Now, one thing that we didn't see last episode, but we find out about now, is that he managed to capture Jesse, one of Rex's squad, if you remember. So he has a lot of leverage over both Rex and Ahsoka, and he basically tortures Jesse, but not regular torture like I'm gonna probe your mind with the Force type torture, the one where your brain can basically melt. So everything he figures out about Ahsoka came from Jesse, and there's nothing Jesse could have done about it. Now I will skip ahead a little bit and tell you Jesse doesn't get killed, so you can keep your fragile heart intact. Now, at this point, the entire effort of the clones on Mandalore is to capture Maul. Like, though they do kind of give a shit about the Mandalorian warriors, they don't give a shit about the Mandalorian warriors because capturing Maul is the only thing that they care about. And at one point, Ahsoka does get informed about the death of Count Dooku, the preparations to hunt General Grievous on Utapau, and, well, of course, she already knew about the invasion of Coruscant from last episode. And we see, and she gets told about the spying on the Chancellor for the Jedi High Council. And now, Maul, at one point, like, after Maul let me start over. So, Prime Minister Almec was captured last episode. We know that. Maul sends Gar Saxon, who, again, or I don't know if I mentioned this last episode, but I'm gonna do it again if I didn't. He looks way fucking better in the Clone Wars animation style than he does in the Rebels animation style. Holy shit. Like, god damn. Gar Saxon was a snack back in the day, basically. But Gar Saxon kills Almec, but Almec tells Ahsoka, like, as he's dying, that Maul was also looking, like, hoping that Anakin showed up. And Ahsoka's basically like, what the fuck? He doesn't even know who Anakin is. Why? And that does come later in this episode. But in between that, when Ahsoka and Maul meet again, we get some really, really smooth, amazing battles between the clones and the Mandalorian warriors. And holy shit, man. Like, this is what I've been saying before. Like, when Disney does shit right, they do shit right. Like, holy hell. It looked amazing. It looked fucking epic, and it's great. When you like that, like this, is what I say about EA all the time. Don't interfere. Just give them money. Like with EA games, if you've ever noticed, when they don't interfere, but just give companies money to make games, boom. They're amazing games, huge success, all that goodness. When Disney doesn't interfere, but just gives people money and resources to make shows and movies, boom, it goes great. And that's what they did for, I'd say, a lot of season 7, probably all of season 7, and the whole Martez plot was sort of just like, we needed to find a way to bridge between Coruscant and Mandalore, and we're not entirely sure how. And so they just kind of came up with that. I don't know the story behind it. I don't work for Disney or Lucasfilms, which still exists, and they have their own logo now. So, I don't know. But yeah, okay. So eventually, like after the whole Ahsoka's whole battalion has left the palace of Mandalore, Bo-Katan, and Rex are just like coming back to the palace to try to figure out how to capture Maul, save Jesse, and be done with this fucking occupation. Because Bo-Katan's getting restless. She doesn't like seeing people uprooted from their homes, and that's what the clones are doing. Is like basically that they're like it's clearly spelled out that they're sending all the citizens of Sindari to safety shelters, but that doesn't matter. Bo-Katan doesn't like that because this is not what she envisioned when she saw the Republic coming to stop Maul. Which, rightfully so. That she probably figured like with the invasion of Ryloth, right? They'd come in swiftly and within 7 fucking hours get done with it. But when you're hunting a Sith Lord, it's a little bit different than like stopping Emir Tambor. So, but Maul, Ahsoka, Rex, Bo-Katan come into the palace. Maul sitting right there on the throne with Jesse, and he actually releases him. He says as a show of good faith. Then his Mandalorians start rampaging throughout the city. He says somebody should probably go take care of that, and Bo-Katan fucks off. He kind of tells her to fuck off because he wants to talk to Ahsoka, but she also takes it upon herself to fuck off, which that's 2 levels of fuck off that I love. Because they both know what they got to do. And so the duel does not actually start right away. Maul legitimately wants to talk to Ahsoka, and Ahsoka is legitimately willing, I'd say, maybe not eager, but willing to listen. And Maul, as we all know, Maul was part of Palpatine's plan from the beginning. He was not meant to be murdered, cast aside, and left to die on Naboo. He was a legitimate part. He was going to be Palpatine's legitimate apprentice throughout this entire thing. But then he died. And then Palpatine evolved this plan. Or should I say died. But Palpatine evolved the plan and then went on to kill his master not too far after the, in between Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace. So, yeah, there's that. So, Maul tells her basically everything he knows. But I also think that because he's not positive that Palpatine is the Supreme Chancellor just yet, I don't know. We don't have too much information on what he actually knows versus what he knows from being told and trained and spoken at with this plan. So he tells her that Darth Sidious is about, because he calculated it in his head when he saw what was happening. He's like, the Republic's about to fall. The Jedi are going to be destroyed. The Republic will no longer be a thing. I need you to help me. I need you to help me kill Sidious. And Ahsoka at first actually accepts. She's like, okay, fine. I don't really trust you, but we're gonna do this if what you say is true. And let's be honest, with shit like that during a war, there is no reason anybody has to fucking lie on that much of a scale. To be honest, nobody has that reason to lie on that big of a scale. That's like saying the president of any country, minus the United States, so let's say that, even though Donald Trump's a fucking moron, that's like saying the president is about to usurp the entire government and murder an entire holy order within the republic. Sure, it sounds like a massive conspiracy theory, but when you say yo, I worked for him directly before, and there's very clearly evidence of that, you kind of might trust it a little bit, especially with the fact that Sith and Jedi exist. But she asks Maul for one simple question, and he's like, sure, fine, ask it. I don't care. What? It's like, why do you want Anakin? And he tells her straight off, I was going to kill him. He's been groomed to be his next apprentice. He needs to die. And after that, Ahsoka's just not having it. She doesn't believe it. I think, kind of thinks he's entirely lying now. And then that's when the duel starts. And the duel is amazing. Holy shit. They did not play Duel of Fates during it, but you can hear, if you've listened to the Star Wars soundtrack a lot, which anybody who's watching this probably has, they did play, they mixed in parts of it. You could hear it in the background, and it just made it fucking better. And interlaced between their duel are scenes of the Republic and the Mandalorians going at it, and it's fucking brutal. I like I said before, the clones have not been used to fighting Mandalorians because, oh boy, Mandalorians will use every tactic available to them. And yeah, oh my god. But the Republic ends up winning out in the end, at least. I think it's mainly because of numbers, but in the major battle, Gar Saxon calls for reinforcements, and Maul's just like, yeah, my ship is here. I'm gonna go before we all die. And yeah, it kind of makes sense, knowing what he knows, because holy shit, if you knew what he knew, you'd be fucking terrified of everything that's happening, and you need to get out of there. They do make reference to the Sons of Dathomir comic line for 1 second when Maul orders Gar Saxon to go kill Almec. He's hey, you rescued me from my imprisonment with Count Dooku. I trust you quite a bit. Go make sure Almec's not a problem. And that's kind of the only reference to it, which I think kind of sucks. I think they should have been full episodes. Matter of fact, they probably could have come before Ahsoka showed up. It would have made sense, and then we could have gone to a couple months later or whatever. But you know what? I just want the good shit to be on TV. So yeah, Maul at the end does get captured. But it's as he's about to escape. The duel continues on these fucking metal beams that interlace the dome of Sindari, and Maul almost gets out of there, but he kind of gets fucking tossed off by Ahsoka, and he's like, no, stop, don't save me, let me die. He is basically begging her to just let him die, and that should tell anybody who is only being introduced to Star Wars through this show that shit's about to go down. You don't just beg to die when you're about to be captured. And so he gets The gun Rex noticed it all, sent gunships. Maul gets tied up and stunned while screaming like, "We're all going to die. What the fuck are you doing? We're all gonna die." And it like he's almost screaming it like a madman. But anybody who knows Star Wars is like fucking listen to him. But we all know how it's gonna end, unfortunately. And oh my god, it was fucking chef's kiss. Oh my god, it was great. I can't wait for next episode. I can't fucking wait for next episode, man. It's gonna be great. And on May the 5th, or no, May 4th. It's May 4th. It's gonna be the last episode, so we've got like 2 more to go unless they skip next week. But holy shit, it's gonna be amazing. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the Empire. We all love Star Wars here. None of that toxicness that came with some of the sequel trilogy. We just love Star Wars for being Star Wars. But I thank you so much for joining me. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed freaking out with me over this shit. And I'll see you next time.